Hey y'all. Hey. Happy Monday. Excuse me. While I join on in the group to make sure everything's going good.
Hey y'all.
Good. Okay. So I hope y'all are doing good. I'm super excited to be talking to y'all today. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you feel refreshed. I know I do. I did some work, but I still try to find time to, rejuvenate and refresh and refocus, so that I can have a productive week. But today I wanted to come to you guys and I wanted to talk to you guys about 5 ways to drive traffic using Facebook. Okay. So we're talking about driving traffic to your website, driving quality traffic, not just any old traffic, because we know we can't do that. We talked a little bit about that last week on the live. So if you didn't catch that, go back through the group feed and see if you can find that message. But we're talking about 5 ways to use Facebook, right? The tools and things that are built into Facebook to drive traffic. By the way, I am going live in my six figure product CEOs group as well as my e commerce CEO society. So if you are a member of my society and the six figure product CEOs group, you're probably seeing me twice. Okay. So I apologize for that. But this information is important for both of you all. So, but before I do that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Kara Williams on Instagram. I'm Automation Queen Bee. I work with product based e commerce business owners and I help teach them how to increase their sales with social media. So, I work with my businesses on, I coach them and I help them understand how to create content that converts. I help them understand who their ideal customer is. I help them figure out how to show up as an authority figure on social media. And because I am a website designer deep down inside, I help them create a website that converts their customers automatically. Okay. Or the visitors that they send to become customers. So I work with them on all these things and I do that in a myriad of ways. I have a membership program, I have a one on one program. In the near future, well, later this year, I want to do like a group coaching program. But enough about me. I want to share with you all 5 ways that you can utilize Facebook's built in tools to help drive traffic to your website. Okay. And these are going to be things that you know. Okay. So nothing new about these things. It's going to be stuff that you already know, but I'm going to tell you how to apply it. Okay. A little bit more about how to apply it. So, number one is going to be Facebook Lives. Okay. Facebook Lives are a biggie, kind of like what I'm doing for you right now. I'm on here. You can see my face. You learn a little bit about my personality. You kind of get to know me a little bit, right? It helps build that know, like, and trust factor. Well, guess what? It will do the same thing for your audience. So you have to get comfortable with going live. Okay. Now, when you go live, there are certain things you should say, right? You should kind of have a format laid out. It shouldn't be very haphazard. It should be something that's planned, something that's strategic. And the number one tip for something that I see that people forget a lot is you should always have a call to action at the end of your live. Okay. You should always encourage people to do something at the end of your live. Okay. So, um, Facebook Live, number one tip. Number one tip. Okay. Number one underutilized tip. So, number two is going to be direct messages. Okay. Social media is a place to be social. Sometimes we forget that. And especially when we're selling something, we tend to make it all about sales, make it all about our product. But in order for us to be successful with selling our product and reaching the people that we really want to reach, we have to bring more of the social part back into play. Okay. So when you direct message people, you start genuine conversations. It's not a messaging them to say, hey, buy my product, or hey, I saw you were this, so you must want, I saw you were X, so you must want Y, right? You must want my product. No, we want to start genuine conversations with people. We want to build relationships. That's the point of starting a conversation. Okay. So DMs help us start that conversation. We don't have to completely build all the trust in one conversation. It could just be the beginning, right? We can start a conversation in the DM Then that person could engage with us in our stories. They could start liking our post, right? Eventually, sometime they probably will circle back around to your DM. Okay. Especially when they see that you have what they need. Okay. So that's number two, which is direct messages. And again, this is another thing that kind of requires a strategy, right? You don't want to be just haphazardly DMing people because then people are going to ignore you, right? So you need a strategy when it comes to your direct messages. So that's number two. Number three is Facebook groups. Okay. And Facebook groups has two areas, right? Two arenas. So when it comes to Facebook group, and I'm looking to see who's on here. Okay. When it comes to Facebook groups, you have two options. Okay. You can create your own Facebook group, but also you can utilize other people's Facebook groups. And creating your own Facebook group is a totally, other topic. It's another whole topic within itself. So we're gonna focus on using other people's Facebook groups. Using other people's Facebook groups that they have built, have a large following, or have a significant amount of people in there is a great way to reach your audience. Okay. So when you do that, you know, you have the potential to actually engage with the people that need what you're selling. Okay. Or your ideal customers. So, how are you using, those groups to reach your ideal customer? You could find posts that reference, a need similar to what you talk about, or what your product gives. You could create a post yourself. You can create an engagement post. You can ask a question of people, right? Which then encourages them to answer, right? And eventually, as they talk about the things that they struggle with, um, you can present your product, okay? Or you can present your solution, rather. So that's kind of a brief overview about how we use other people's Facebook groups to, help us reach our ideal customer, right? When we can drop our websites and links. One of my clients was telling me, hey, she'll be in the group and somebody will mention something and she'll drop a blog. So, she's dropping a link to her website. It's not a product link, it's actually, a link of value, which is a blog to say, hey, learn from me. I want to give you something before I ask for something from you. Okay. So that is number three, Facebook groups. Number four, is posting. Posting, as you guys know, should not be done in a salesy way. I think I said this last week, but and I've said it multiple times before, but people do not like being sold to. Okay, so when you post on Facebook, you want to post in a way that educates people about your brand, about your product, that talks to them about their pain points, that reverses their beliefs, their fears, around what you sell. Okay, you want to, really speak to your ideal customer. That's what's going to encourage them to, look at you as an authority, right? And you have to show up consistently. That's the key with the posting. Well, that's the key with all of this is you have to be consistent. Okay. So, and I share, 7 types of posts that you need to consistently share with your audience. Some of them are sales posts, product posts, testimonials, thank you, um, gosh, I'm drawing a blank, but those are some of the ones, right? So you don't just want to say buy my product, you need to actually give value back. Okay. Another one is brand building posts. So through these different types of posts, you give value back to your audience, which then encourages them to look at you as, an authority figure. Okay. So that's number four. And finally, type number five, or the fifth way to drive traffic to your website, is through using stories. Okay. And I have to admit, I'm getting better with this one myself, but I am, this weekend, I'm actually like scheduling all my stories for next week. Okay. So, but I'll talk about that, another day. But anywho, stories are such an amazing way to reach people. Like, and the great thing about stories is that you can literally see who looked at your content. You can't do that with posts. You can't do that I mean, you can kind of do that with a direct message, but when you post, you can't see who looked at your post unless they like it or interacted with some way. Stories kind of give you that accountability. So, like if somebody looks at your story, right, then you can follow up, with them via DM or actually start a genuine conversation based off of the content from your story. So that's a way that you can engage people and you can do it quickly. You know, it's not a long drawn out post, or you don't have to come up with a super complicated graphic for your story. You literally just post and kind of give people a glimpse into what they can expect. Okay. So that's number 5. Hopefully these 5 ways have helped you. I'm gonna run back through them. So number 1 was Facebook Lives. Number 2 was direct messages. Number 3 was Facebook groups. Number 4 was posting. Number 5 was Facebook stories. Okay. These 5 features of Facebook really make Facebook an invaluable platform. Okay, it's so much easier, to utilize this platform, versus the other ones, which um, makes me forget. I actually forgot one. The other one that I forgot is adding Facebook friends. Okay, and I promise I'm about to jump off of here. But adding Facebook friends is a very important feature of Facebook, and it's one of the ways that IG and Facebook differ. So on IG, you do not have groups. On IG, you cannot add friends. Like you can follow people, but that doesn't mean that they see your content back. So what makes Facebook unique, right, between IG and Facebook is that I can add someone and I don't have to wait for them to add me back or follow me back. They're automatically following me if they accept my friend request, which then enables me to, for them to see my content. Okay. And I'll share with you all that a lot of the ways that I engage with people is, as I add a friend request or send out friend requests, and as they get accepted, people will go back and they'll look through my content on on my wall, everything I've shared, and they'll go back and they'll engage and they'll like. And so I'm like, okay, bam, that's a great way for me to know that you're interested in what I'm talking about. Okay. So adding friends, right? People that are your ideal customer, people that are most likely to buy is a great way to, increase your friends list. Okay. And help drive that traffic. So hopefully these 6 tips have helped you guys. And I'm actually doing a masterclass this week on this in the e-commerce CEO Society. It's Wednesday for my ECS group members. We're doing a masterclass on this Wednesday where I'm going to do a deep dive and give you guys strategy, the strategy that you need to implement these 6 steps, to make Facebook something that really helps you get in front of your ideal customers. And then next week, we're actually also doing a challenge for driving traffic using Facebook. And I'm going to call them to action to make them take necessary steps to put the things that we learned from the masterclass into play. Okay. So if that interests you, the ECS is definitely for you. Although it's not open right now, it will open at the end of this month. And I'll definitely be sharing, that enrollment period with you guys later this month. But hopefully this has helped you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. As always, let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to helping you guys in the comments. And I'll see my ECS group members on the masterclass on Wednesday. Y'all have a great day. Bye.